Hi everybody, welcome to Greystone Carving Studio. My name's Henry, and today I'm going to do an overview of hitting machines, hammers and mallets, and here they are. We've got various bits of kit here, and I'll introduce you first to a hammer that I don't use. It's a walling hammer. Here it is. This is a walling hammer. You can see that, maybe that anyway. It's a walling hammer. It's for dressing stone. It's of this was bought in the Portland area, but I suspect this is kind of Cotswolds, but I'm not sure. And they say the good use for a walling hammer is you put it on the wall at the beginning of the day where you start, and then at least you know how long the wall you've built in the day, so you should leave it there. So that's what a good waller told me. So you shouldn't be hitting bits of stone about. What you should be doing is turning around, seeing the bit of stone that you need in the pile, picking it up and putting it in the wall. It's economy of movement, and people who are really good wallers are able to do that, and it's an amazing skill. So that's a walling hammer for dressing stone, and as you can see, I don't use it. I'm not even sure that the handle would stand up to very much work. So that's the walling hammer. I get some kind of general lump hammers. These are really useful bits of kit. They're short-handled. In masonry, tend to use hammers, not all, but a lot of hammers we kind of use short-handled, and this I've used for kind of chopping, like with a punch. I've used it for kind of taking out old masonry in a building ready for a new bit of stone, or I use it for with a punch to remove large bits of material, and it's a bit of and I use it as opposed to a proper masonry hammer. These two. I think this was this is a Portland masonry hammer, and this is for removing. Again, you use it with a punch, and people use that all day. And I haven't got the practice to do that, but it's a lovely tool, and it's for and it's because of its weight means that you don't use any strength doing it. You're just using the weight of the tool. People often mistake the use of hammers. They think you have to use power. So these are two proper, really nice masonry hammers. That's a new one. I think John Parsons had a load of those commissioned. And I was lucky enough to get one of those. It's slightly lighter than this one. And this is one, same, it's a masonry hammer, but I think this is from made in Eastern Europe. It's an odd creature, and I've never really used it. So those are kind of hitting machines, hammers. And they are tools that have been, that we use for kind of removing large bits of stone. And then I'll go over to masonry. We've got mallets. We've got various mallets here, and I'll concentrate on masonry, mallets for masonry. First of all, move those out of the way. This is a fruitwood mallet. It's not used very much, I'm afraid. It's got a split down it. And as you can see, it's not been used very much. This is the grain goes this. Funny enough, the grain goes this way, and this is called the beat, and you use a mallet on either end of this beat, so that the end grain you hit the chisel with the end grain, and so the wooden mallets are usually fruitwood. This is my mallet that I picked up at Salisbury Cathedral. I'm embarrassed to show this. This is a sight mallet. It's light. You can use it upside down in small bits of scaffolding. And I've abused this very badly, as you can see. But this has stood me in good stead, and it's a site mallet. It's what I've used on site. And this is my masonry mallet. And it's not, normally most mallets that you get are made out of this stuff. This is a nylon, and it's a bit bouncy. It's okay. It's not a bad mallet. This is a small carving mallet, not a masonry mallet. And this is my masonry mallet, and it's made of polypropylene, like black plastic bags. It's actually made from a fender from the side of Weymouth Quay. So one of those big black plastic fenders, and it was cut up and then carved on a lathe. And I use that for all my masonry, and it's a lovely bit of kit, and it's got a push. So the difference between a hammer, so this is a carving hammer, a little carving hammer, and you can use that for lettering, but mainly you use that for carving. It's got a bit of a long handle, so you can swing it a bit if you need to. The difference is a hammer sends a shock through the chisel into the material, so you can shock the material off. So you can use a point and you can blast it off, really. Whereas this has got a softer blow, so you get a more controlled cut. So if you're cutting a draft or a flat surface, or you're trying to do this, kind of pushes the stone through the material. So and it's about the weight. And I would say that this is the more difficult bit of kit to learn properly. A mallet or a chisel or a dummy or a hammer. A mallet dummy hammer is more difficult to learn from what I've seen of people than a chisel. Because the actual act of hitting things correctly, economically, and without effort, it takes a little bit of time to learn. And then, so as I said, here's a small nylon carving mallet. And then these are dummies. These are called dummies. These little round hammers. They're called dummies of various different sizes and various different weights. So I use this one a lot for lettering. And they're used in a very particular way. So, and they're various different sizes. And different weight of things is what's important. So, the more stone you want to remove, the heavier the bit of kit. And so you still want to be having a light bit of kit and then trying to hit it. So there you go. And they're all used in different ways. Yeah, that's a nice little... So can you see they're very different? This is a lead. I've never used it. I bought it because I like the idea. And I thought, I'm not going to use that. It's a nice bit of kit. Why you'd want to use a lead dummy, I don't know. But I bought it. So there you go. Anything else? No? Okay, thanks for listening. And like I said, I'll go through each of these in the next few weeks. Thank you.